Hello and welcome to the latest edition of YES101 Visual Radio. Bringing you the news, I'm Steven Machado. Let's take a look at your headlines first.
News First headline.
Election officials outlines key details on general election. Court of Appeal rejects bail request of W.M. Mendes director. Dozens killed after car plows into crowd in China. The ODI series between Sri Lanka and New Zealand will kick off tomorrow. Your local news first. A special media briefing on the upcoming general elections was held this morning at the Department of Government Information. The chairman of the Election Commission, RMAL Ratnayaka, and the police spokesperson, DIG Nihal Taldua, provided important updates on the election process. Ratnayaka explained that a single-column ballot paper will be issued in Monoragala, Polonnaruwa and Kegalle districts, while other districts will use two-column ballots. Voters will mark their preferred party or independent group and can also indicate up to 3 preference numbers. DIG Taldua outlined the security plan with 64,000 police officers and 70,000 auxiliary officers deployed across the country. The army and civil defense forces will also insist in securing polling stations. Voters who have not received their polling cards can obtain them from the post office or download them from the Election Commission website. Having a polling card is not mandatory to vote, as long as valid ID is presented. More on this is available on our website at www.newsfirst.lk. On more local news, the Court of Appeal today rejected the bail request of Randev Dinendra John, a director of W.M. Mendes Company, who has been sentenced to imprisonment. The bail application was heard before the bench of Court of Appeal, Justices Sobita Rajakaruna and Mahen Gopal Lava. Randev Dinendra John was sentenced to 6 months in prison by the Colombo Magistrate Court for failing to pay 3.5 billion rupees in value-added tax. The Court of Appeal rejected the bail request and scheduled the next hearing for the 29th of November to confirm facts. Up next is international news.
International news.
According to Chinese authorities, at least 35 people were killed and 43 more were injured after a car plowed into a crowd of people exercising at a stadium in Zhuhai. A 62-year-old male driver is alleged to have driven an SUV through a barrier into Zhuhai Sports Center in what local police described as a serious and vicious attack. Chinese media reported that many elderly people as well as teenagers and children were among the injured. The suspect was arrested while trying to flee and is currently in a coma as a result of self-inflicted wounds. Moving on to your sports news.
Sports news.
Wanindu Hasranga has been ruled out of the ODI series against New Zealand after sustaining an injury to his left hamstring during the second T20I on Sunday. He has been replaced in the ODI squad by Dushan Hemanta, another bowling all-rounder. New Zealand quick Lockie Ferguson has also been ruled out of the ODI series. Adam Milne has been called up in the place of the injured Ferguson. Both teams took part in the final preparation today before the ODI series kicks off tomorrow. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Cricket has appointed former South African batsman Neil McKenzie as the national team's short-term consultant. That's it for your news. Stay tuned for more of the very latest.